What happens if you learn a new skill for just 30 minutes daily? Chapter 1. 30 minutes doesn't sound like much. 30 minutes, half an hour. Most people spend more time than that scrolling through social media, watching random videos, or waiting for the perfect moment to begin. And that's exactly why 30 minutes is so powerful. Because it doesn't feel life-changing. It doesn't demand that you transform overnight. It doesn't require talent, special connections, or extraordinary intelligence. It only asks for one thing: to show up. Just 30 minutes today. The truth is, the biggest changes in life rarely begin with giant leaps. They begin with small decisions repeated over and over again. A guitar sitting in the corner, a language you've always wanted to speak, a business idea waiting to be built, a dream you've postponed for years. 30 minutes may seem insignificant. But what if those 30 minutes became a habit? What if they became a year? What if they became your future? Chapter 2. The hardest part is the beginning. The first few days won't feel exciting. In fact, they'll probably feel frustrating. You'll make mistakes. You'll feel slow. You'll compare yourself to people who've been practicing for years. And you'll wonder if you're wasting your time. This is where most people quit. Not because they can't improve, but because they expect progress to happen faster than it does. Learning something new is uncomfortable. Your brain is building connections it has never built before. Growth feels awkward. Improvement feels invisible. And when results don't arrive immediately, doubt begins to whisper. Maybe I'm not talented enough. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'll never get good at this. But here's what most people never realize. Every expert you admire once stood exactly where you are. Confused, uncertain, struggling. The difference is they kept going. Chapter 3. The invisible transformation. Then something interesting begins to happen. Not overnight, not in a week, but little by little. The things that once felt impossible start feeling familiar. You remember concepts faster. You make fewer mistakes. You notice details you couldn't see before. And although the changes seem small, something much bigger is happening beneath the surface. You're becoming the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. Every day you sit down to practice, you're building discipline. Every day you continue despite slow progress, you're building resilience. Every day you choose growth over comfort, you're building confidence. The skill isn't the only thing improving, you are. Chapter 4. The power of compounding effort. Imagine improving just a little every day. Not 10 times better. Not twice as good. Just a little. Most people underestimate what consistency can do because they only look at today's results. But success isn't built in a day. It's built in the accumulation of days. 30 minutes becomes 3.5 hours a week, over 15 hours a month, more than 180 hours a year. Think about that. 180 hours invested into becoming better. While others wait for motivation, you build momentum. While others search for shortcuts, you build mastery. And slowly the gap begins to grow, not because you're more gifted, but because you stayed consistent. Chapter 5. 1 year later. Now imagine yourself 1 year from today. The version of you who never started is standing next to the version of you who practiced 30 minutes every day. Which life looks different? Which person feels more confident? Which person has more opportunities? Which person is proud of what they've become? The difference wasn't one giant decision. It wasn't luck. It wasn't perfect conditions. It was 30 minutes, repeated hundreds of times. The skill you once struggled with now feels natural. The fear that once held you back has become smaller. And the person who doubted themselves has become someone capable of far more than they imagined. Because every day you voted for the future you wanted, and eventually those votes became your reality. Chapter 6. Your future starts today. Right now, there is a skill you've been thinking about learning, a dream you've been delaying, a goal you've been waiting to pursue. And maybe you're telling yourself you'll start next week, next month, when life becomes easier. But life rarely waits for perfect timing. The people who change their lives aren't the people who wait. They're the people who begin, even when they're uncertain, even when they're uncomfortable, even when progress seems invisible, Because they understand something powerful. The future isn't built tomorrow. It's built today. One decision, one practice session, one small step forward. So here's your challenge. Choose one skill, set a timer for 30 minutes, and begin. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today.